Microphone check. Okay, we are live. Okay, guys. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Just had a just had a late check there. Didn't even plug that in. I didn't even know when it went off, but things happen. Welcome to the Unintentional Juror and but Ketchup. Let me start this again. Okay. Whenever they're technicals, expect me to have a little bit of a start. But yes, welcome back to Ketchup Court, the place where we are all the unintentional jurors. That is what I meant to say. Today we are going over the Baby Reindeer lawsuit. And this lawsuit was pretty much initiated by Fiona Harvey when she decided to come forward and reveal that the identity of the individual, the identity of Martha, the character in Baby Reindeer, that was supposedly a stalker, allegedly a stalker, I should say, not supposedly, allegedly a stalker. She was also allegedly someone that was obsessed with Richard Gadd, also essayed, sexually assaulted him, all of these things. That's what the show was basically alleging. Fiona Harvey came forward, and we covered this on the main channel where we went through and just I've done a little discussion interview with Eric Unley. I don't know why that took me a while. Yes, Eric and I had a really interesting conversation, and there were so many parallels that he was drawing to kind of give me the idea that Fiona should pretty much take the money and run. But I think that if she cares about this, and if she does believe that people shouldn't be used in this way, then maybe she should go all the way. But on the main channel, we discussed that over there on the Heinz Griff, where we gave a prima facie of this case. Go and check that over there, because that we covered the main background and the speculation over there and the discussions over there. Over here, though, we are going through the declaration. Yes, Richard Gadd has actually responded, and I haven't read the declaration. I only heard of it from... Sorry, I don't even know. That's my key. I don't know what my key is doing here. Where was I? I only know of the declaration, just everyone has news feeds, so that's pretty much how I got to know about this filing. So without further, I'm going to go into the filing. Hello, shout out to everyone that's watching this right now. Apologies for the earlier technicals. No, trust me, this one was really technical. I didn't even realize it was out. But yeah, apologize for that. We are definitely going to improve on that for the next stream, which is the Unintentional Juror Pod, happening this Sunday at same time as today, 2 p.m. Eastern. We are going over the Robert Tellis trial. That trial is heating up, really, and I can't wait to share my thoughts over on the Unintentional Juror Podcast, episode 9. Yeah, I cannot wait for that. But yeah, so shout out to everyone that are here, even if you're watching back on replay or just lurking. Welcome. So I'm gonna go straight into the motion. Okay, there I am. Let me. Yep. I don't care. I don't. Hold up. That shouldn't be there. Okay. So this is the motion that I was. This is the not motion. Wrong word to use there. This is the declaration that was filed by Richard Gadd, and he basically just details exactly. What I believe would be refutations or just saying the record straight based on whatever Fiona may have alleged in the lawsuit, or maybe taking the response, taking the opportunity to respond, or maybe taking the opportunity to respond to our interview, whichever one it is. Yeah, this is the declaration, and we're gonna go through this. So it gives his background. It says, I'm a comedian. He gives the background. He's a comedian, writer, wrote the series Baby Nephews. I have personal knowledge of the facts set forth below, if called as a witness, could and would testify competently thereto. That's confident. And I submit the declaration in support of defendants Netflix Inc. and Netflix Worldwide Entertainment LLC's special motion to strike. Now, I'm not gonna pretend that I have seen other people do this in other Netflix lawsuit, because in the Legal Lab video that I done on the main channel, we basically went through the chances of her case law wise and how she would even defeat anti-slap. Is it anti-slap? It is defamation, isn't it? She is claiming if that was to even be the case, where they will get the anti-slap to throw it, how she will even be, etc. And what we gone through all of that to the best of my abilities. And in my opinion, I haven't come across a case that I was looking that Netflix have been adjudicating where the person that was like, where one of the writers or directors, etc., has submitted a declaration. I don't know. Maybe I missed it. It could have happened. It could have happened in the Central Park 5Ks. Who knows? But I haven't seen it. That's what I'm saying. I have written and starred in several original theatre shows, including. Guys, what's going on? Oh, come on. Okay, just gotta refresh. Okay. All right, let's start again. I have written and starred in several original theatre shows, including Cheese and Crack Horse, Breaking Gadd. This guy is a dad joke just waiting to happen, and Waiting for Godot, which all debuted at Edinburgh Fringe Festival from 2013 to 2015. This is interesting because I remember Fiona referencing this festival, so of course she knows about him. But now I want to know to how she would know about this festival if Richard has ever mentioned it to her. Okay, moving on. And went on to have successful runs at London so Theatre. The Edinburgh Fringe Festival is one of the largest performing arts arts festivals in the world. It occurs annually in Edinburgh, Scotland, and showcase artists of every genre live performance. Sorry about the background noises, by the way. I'm gonna try and speed through this because, again, I do recognize that this is a document, and we have lives. But I'm gonna try and speed through this because I haven't read anything. So I will be reacting as I go ahead. But I will be reading all 21 pages. In 2016, I wrote and starred in Monkey See, Monkey Do, which won the Edinburgh Comedy Award for Best Comedy Show. So he is actually a good comedian then. All right. Monkey See, Monkey Do went on to have several sellout runs at Soho Theatre for the United Kingdom and Europe, and was broadcast comedy on Comedy Central in 2017. To be honest, the reason why he's doing this is because he's trying to show that there will be no need for him to use Fiona in that way, in a way that isn't outside of public interest. That even if this was to be Fiona Harvey, even if Martha was to literally be Fiona Harvey, like in his mind, it was all the intention and he just done a sloppy job of masking it. I believe that this could be, if the judge sees it and like, I believe it's enough here to show that all he was trying to do was raise awareness, and of course it would be his big break, but he's already achieved. Is what I'm trying to say. He's already achieved quite a bit, and it's not like this guy was a nobody, so he would do this maliciously. Is what I'm trying to say. Monkey See, Monkey Do touch on various themes, including in particular my own experience of sexual abuse, and my struggles with sexual identity. Now, I just realized something. I just want to say, damn, I just forgot. Never mind. It'll come back to me. But it was in regards to the whole accolades thing. It was in regards. It'll come back to me. I literally just forgot. My character spends much of the show running on a treadmill whilst being chased by a gorilla, training for man's man final, a competition of one's ability to complete ultra manly task. The gorilla represented by my brain had lost to base primal emotions of fear and anger. The competition was meant to represent my struggle to regain my masculinity and my sense of self after I was essayed. Monkey See, Monkey Do was a fictional account of real experiences in my life. I'm glad he's giving template that this is not the first time, and if you're gonna sue me, you might as well go back and sue whoever was running Monkey D. So basically, London Soho, you might as well sue them as well for, all these things. That's the impression I'm getting here. I also wrote and starred in the theatre production of Baby Reindeer, which premiered in 2019 Edinburgh Fringe Festival and won the Scotsman's Fringe Award for New Writing and Stage Award for Acting Excellence. Again, successful. Like the series, the show centered around an encounter with a stalker named Martha and addressed stalking essay, obsession, self-delusion, self-destruction, and self-discovery. I used real trauma I used real trauma as the basis for Monkey See, Monkey Do and Baby Reindeer, while creating characters, scenes, dialogue, and dramatic devices to support their fictionalized story. In other words, although these stage productions were emotionally true and based on real-life events, they dramatized people, places, things, and events to tell a story. Well, at least we know now it's telling the truth that, yes, there was some dramatization there. And yes, everyone, in regards to the speculation, everyone has been saying it's not enough to say this is a true story. It's not enough, like, in all fairness, like, there is so much, like I said, there is so much going for. I already thought about it. I don't know practically, legally, how you can put on a defense to demonstrate this point that I'm about to make. But what I'm about to say is, I have no idea how you can claim that just because you write this is a true story, that it actually has to be true. I brought up the example of Fargo in the conversation that Eric and I were having, and of course he made his point there. But the reason why I brought up that point is because that was a fictional story that was not even true, and they still put it. This is a true story. This is like they didn't even say this is based on a, like did they say this is based on a true story? I think they said this is true. This is a true story. The same thing Richard Gadd done. So I don't know how you can argue that in court, but if someone else has done that and they're like, okay, but I've done these previous works where I've used my traumas and I've told, and yes, it's dramatized, but end of the day, it's been built from my real life experiences. I understand in terms of defamation, if people can pick up his Martha, then yeah, that makes sense, because if you're saying factually something happened and it didn't, then you're in hot water. So what I'm trying to say is, it seems that with this background, in my opinion, I think he has cleared at least the fact that he didn't want to bring her identity out there. That because she had decided to volunteer that the courts may not look favorably based on this history. I don't know how they're going to argue it though, in emotions, like try and dismiss it. I have no idea how they're going to argue it. I'm not a lawyer practicing at all. So I would love to one day. Honestly, I would love to, so that I can look at this and be like feel like Superman, feel like, no, technically, am I Batman now? If I'm probably, no, I'm not even Batman. I'm broke. No. Anyway, let me move on. Baby, if you're watching this on replay, make sure you hit the like button, and also share this stream as well. Really good for the algorithm. Would love other people to join. Baby Reindeer series. Okay, so it goes on to we've seen a series. I'm not gonna go through this. I'm just gonna cut through to. Okay, so maybe you might. I will read this though. I'll read from 7. The series reprises characters, scenes, dialogue from the theater version of Baby Reindeer, and it's a continuation of my exploration of essay, manipulation, exploitation, obsession, sexual identity, self-loathing, self-destruction, and self-discovery. My personal struggles with my sexual identity and experiences with SA, harassment, and stalking inspired me to write and star in the theatre version of Baby Reindeer and subsequently the series. No, so what he has done essentially is, if what I'm getting from this is, if you can kind of in a way show a playwright that there is no real, like the script or something, I'm pretty sure he will have it because he written it. But if you can show a script and he shows that there's no difference between what was at the theater and what was on the Netflix production, I think he would have a case. And I know that the Netflix has put up to say this is a true story. But if it's also in the script for there, why would they believe? Why would the theater folks believe that it was all true and not dramatized? Because the truth is, when you go to a theater, most of the time you know that you're getting a story. So I like, what I'm saying is, I don't know how they're going to argue this, but I like that he has given enough ammo here to at least create an argument that this wasn't an effort to draw her out, or they were trying to like deliberately pinpoint Fiona in this case. It's what I'm trying to say. I don't know how they're gonna argue it, but to me it looks like they're trying to say, well, it looks like it would be like accidental that identity got out. If that that's not even the right way of me even saying it either. It wouldn't be accidental, but just that's unintended. No, those text messages, the inclusion of those text messages and the emails and the identifiers is going to be a strong contention, I feel, when it comes to the motion to dismiss. I would love to see how they go back and forth with that. The series is a dramatic, continuing on with paragraph 9, the series is a dramatic work. It is not a documentary. And I know why he says this, because if you watch that Piers Morgan interview that included Andy Popcorn Planet, as well as the Officer Tatum, as well as, I can't remember the other guys, but they were having a big panel, and there was this other black girl that was there. I think she was drunk or something, I don't know. But Tatum, I remember this. He kept saying it was a documentary. It was a documentary. It was a documentary. It was a documentary. I don't know why he said that. I don't know. I was like, bro, you're not paid to say this. Like, why are you doing this? Like, because it didn't make sense why you would say something that is blatantly false. It really wasn't a documentary. And I don't think it was even promoted as such, or an attempt at realism. Again, I think, in my opinion, this is enough. In my opinion, I really do, because you already have a show that exists that actually does say this, the same thing, the exact same quote. On Fargo is fiction, but when you have a work like that, how can you penalize this and not that? It's what I'm trying to say. So I would love to see how this is argued. While the series is based on my life and real life events and is at its core emotionally true, it is not beat to beat recounting of the events and emotions I experienced as transpired. It is fictionalized and is not intended to portray actual facts. Well, it's easier to say that now, but I'm not going to pretend that I don't understand where it's coming from. I know what he means by now, at least now, what he means by emotionally true, because he lived it, innit? That's pretty much it. How legally, emotionally true is, legally sound or an adequate defense, I don't know. But in terms of it, if it was listed as a documentary, I can see that being something, because funny enough, the other shows that I was looking at, compared to Richard Jad, most of them were actually documentaries. The Central Park 5 was a documentary, and I think I mentioned that. Except for the Queen's Gambit, I don't think that was a documentary. I don't think Inventing Anna was a documentary, and I don't think the lawsuit with the Anna Sorokin, I think it was the other girl, the girl that was portrayed by the girl from Scandal. I forgot her name, but when she filed the lawsuit, and I think it's still going on now. It's not even settled yet. I think it's still ongoing. I might even look at that side by side if if anyone's interested. But in regards to this particular lawsuit, and in regards to all the lawsuits, there were documentaries in there that none of these cases went to court. Like the Central Park 5 was the closest, and out of nowhere, the former DA that brought the case that said that the show had painted her in a false light or blah blah in bad light, she withdrew last minute. She didn't even want to go to trial and testify to what happened. So we will never know what would happen if it was a documentary or not. But this was definitely not a documentary, and I'm surprised why people was actually saying it was. Well, paragraph 10 reads, while the series is emotionally my true story as I recall and recount, it is not intended to depict any real persons. Instead, I created fictionalized characters, including Martha and Donnie. That's true. He could have just made himself a self-titled cast. He could have literally called himself Richard, but he actually called himself Donnie. So this, for me, this just expresses or shows the intent that from the beginning, Martha was always a character, not Fiona. It was never written to draw out Fiona, is basically what I'm trying to say. Which were foils to my exploration of my own experiences and trauma. I intentionally used characters that did not share the actual names of any persons from my life, and wrote fictionalized dialogue and scenes. Each of the characters from the scenes from the series as some imagined personality and traits and events that I specifically selected to make them useful dramatic devices. I'm not going to go through each and every one of this and react to everyone, but I am going to say for paragraph 10, this is why I was saying things like, for example, Eva Mao, the trans character, right? When she was beaten up by Fiona, we didn't hear any refutation from Fiona in regards to that assault. We didn't hear anything about that. Was that fiction? Because if that was fiction, you can't have both ways. You can't have it that Martha is real Fiona, but Nava is fake. But Nava is actually a real person as well. But is that scene fake? Because you can't have both. If Fiona is going to argue that all of this is real, she has to accept that part has to happen as well, which is what I was saying in the previous in the video. But in the video going through this at the first time, but yeah, you can't have both. It's either it's true, these incidents are true. I know she's gonna say, "Oh, that's not true," but if that's not true, then he's saying this part is not true, but you're saying it's true. Who do we believe? Is basically what I'm getting at. I use my experiences to craft Martha, the character space, specifically to both feed into Donnie's desperate need for attention and self-esteem issues, and challenge him in ways that make him confront his past abuse and its effects on him. This is telling me that this is a clever tacit way to admit that I may have made up the Martha going to prison for stalking. I may have made that up so that you can see my desperation and self-esteem issues, that I even was still wanting this girl despite her going through so much. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I look at that part as, yeah, like the word even craft, it just sounds like, yeah, I made that part up. I made that part of the prison part. I crafted that part. It's just a subtle way, just the most subtle way of saying it without saying it. The Donnie character is intended to be both a pitiable. Oh gosh, why am I reading as if it's in Spanish? Anyway, the Donnie character is intended to be both a pitiable and protagonist, and at times its own antagonist. Donnie is also meant to provide a point of comparison, and the series concludes, my hope with the audience will recognize that neither of them was the true aggressor nor the victim. And to be honest, I did actually get that message from him. I actually did. I'll be very honest. The way it ended, he didn't. I don't think he placed blame on Martha. I think he placed blame on himself to wonder why he was blaming Martha more than the guy that actually did what's worse. I'm not gonna say what's worse or but I would imagine reporting Martha, not him, would have been so crushing. It's what I'm trying to say. It's like trying to decide which one is worse when both of them are equally as bad. That's why I had to check myself. I was like, yo, no, don't do that oppression Olympics here. What are you doing? Yeah, I had to check myself on that one. To further reaffirm for the audience how those two characters are more alike than different, I chose to end the series with Donnie sitting on the pub crying and the bartender giving him a drink for free, precisely how Donnie first meets Martha. That is a great character beat that ends on an arc that realizes that Martha, that realizes the pain that he has caused to Martha unintentionally, even though Martha has caused him some pain as well. It's like a realization that he's taking responsibility for the part he's played in it as well. So what he's saying here is this never happened. That's what he's saying. This actually never happened in real life. He never cried for the real Fiona Harvey. So off to a good start, in my opinion. I'm actually like, I don't know how a lawyer is gonna pick up all this and argue it in court. I would love to see the motion to dismiss, but I am. The series is not a documentary. I think it's good. Anyway, 13. The series is not a documentary representing literal true details and imagery. It is a fictionalized retelling of my emotional journey through several extremely traumatic real experiences. It is an expression of my views on stalking, harassment, and essay, told through the lens of my own experiences, emotions, and self-reflections. I did not write the series as a representation of actual facts about any real person, including Fiona Harvey. Harvey is never mentioned in the series. It's not even ever mentioned. I don't think I can actually make the argument is she's not even alluded to just based on that last argument that he said about how he was crying. I don't think that was even a nod to Fiona. I think that was a nod to possibly something he wished he said to Fiona that would have put her at ease or something like that. Probably, let's say that even the fight scene, let's say that that's even real. He's probably feeling guilt for that, because if you even watch that scene back in context, you can kind of see how the build up to that scene happening with Fiona losing it could affect him emotionally based on everything that transpired previously. Food for thought, basically. Hey, everything I said there actually rhymed. I didn't even know that. Anyway, let me go and check in on the chat and see how you guys are doing. Make sure you guys utilize the chat. You guys are watching. Make sure you guys hit the like button. But yeah, let me know how you guys are feeling in the chat. I appreciate lurkers. I have no problem with lurkers. I lurk myself. I'm not the king of it. I'm not gonna claim I'm the king, but I lurk myself. So no judgment from me. I would just say hi now and then, just so that I know that you exist, and then you can return back to your life of anonymity and lurking. Anyway, we're moving on. So going back into the declaration, he now goes on to detail real life experiences with Fiona Harvey. In 2014, I met Harvey at the pub where I worked at the time, the Holy Harms. I noticed that Harvey looked distressed and offered her a cup of tea on the house. On noticing each other's accents, we engaged in what I took at the time to be a friendly conversation and discussed our Scottish heritage. This is where it's gonna get good, because I'm going to. I am now tempted to do another stream juxtaposing both of this and analyzing and see who's lying or who's not. I'm really tempted. I might even do that tomorrow. I'm really tempted to do that to do that after this. Anyway, moving on. Following that first meeting, let me know if that's something that you guys would like to see that side by side comparison. Anyway, moving on. Following that first meeting, Harvey subsequently stalked and harassed me throughout 2014 to 2017. Oh, wow. It's getting specific now. She frequently appeared at the pub. 3 years. Oh, wow. It quickly became clear that she had money. Ooh. How long did Fiona know him how long did Martha know him in the movie? To be honest, it felt like a month. It felt like 2 months. It felt like at least a year, not long. Again, I think this helps him, because if it's not written in like, if it's not even bringing in these real life elements of these real times into the story, what leg can you actually stand on that this is more in the interest of public interest rather than you? Because that's why the public interest, I believe that's why the public interest defense would exist, because it will be to say that most of these things are not aimed at you. They're aimed at an idea or something like that, an interest. I really don't know if I'm not practicing lawyer, if I'm not a practicing attorney, or even went to law school for that matter. Anyway, she frequently appeared at the pub. It quickly became clear that she had memorized my shift pattern by hanging around the pub constantly. She would then arrive just before my shift started on most days I was working, and sit at the end of the bar. She would also call the pub constantly on the days when I was working to check if I was in. This went on for a very long period of time. 3 years is a very long time. So I can see why it was sometimes she would stay for my entire shift. Other times she would stay for a few hours. Sometimes she would just say something abruptly and leave. Harvey's behavior... This is funny, because when she was asked about this on Piers Morgan, I think she was doing so much to like avoid even going into it. Harvey's behavior quickly grew concerning for me. What started out as someone sitting at the end of the bar and chatting most days turned into her directly impacting my ability to work, interjecting as I tried to serve tables and talking to most customers I served at the bar. She would often try to engage with me by repeatedly trying to make jokes or banter. She would tell the customers of the pub that I was a comedian, and sometimes adopt smarty innuendos to try and embarrass me in front of the staff. At first, I engaged with Harvey and her jokes, viewing her as harmless, but as soon as it became exhausting, I quickly grew frustrated and continual and unrelenting presence in my work life. I had to hold on to this memory for so long and squint my eyes. Well, not squint, but expand my eyes. I said something earlier, and that was in regards to how did she know that this guy was a comedian? It's not said here. That's strange. It's not strange. It's not strange. It's like I can't. No, it's not strange. It's nothing. I can't see a situation in which Richard says, "I told her I was a comedian." I can't see that. Never mind. It means nothing. I thought it meant something when I was reading. Anyway, moving on. 17. Paragraph 17 reads, when Harvey was around, I had my guard up. There was particularly an intense period of time when Harvey attempted to touch me in inappropriate and sometimes sexual ways. Harvey pinched me and touched me in various parts of my body, including my bum, and was generally handsy towards me. The attention was unwelcome, and I found myself constantly trying to dodge Harvey's advances and unwanted physical contact while serving tables. I did ask Harvey to leave me alone, to refrain from making advances towards me on several occasions. However, she ignored my request, and as with her wider behavior, she was persistent and relentless. I can see why Piers calls her a troll. Around March 2015, Harvey became increasingly hostile towards me and others at the Holy Arms. Matters escalated when I confronted Harvey in the pub by falsely telling one of the regulars that we had sex, which she took badly. Oh, it's gonna get good. I want to see how she refutes that. On one occasion, Harvey mentioned to a customer at the bar a bad review about me which she had seen online. I retorted by referring to news coverage I had seen regarding Harvey's harassment of former Member of Parliament Jimmy Ray and his wife Laura Ray. She briefly left the pub. I said this. Let me get back to it. When she re-entered, I was sitting on a wooden chair in the corner of the right of the bar, crouched down by the condiments cupboard, marrying up to the ketchups. We're not all bad, you know. We are marriage material. Harvey came behind the bar to where I was standing and shoved in the back of my neck. I turned to find her chastising me whilst pointing in my face. I remembered that she referred to the comedian Frankie Boyle's mouth having got him in trouble, and she said that my mouth would get me into trouble too. She was furious. I found her demeanor intimidating. I remember quickly apologizing out of fear she was going to hit me, as well as embarrassment at the fact a number of customers nearby were looking over. She subsequently stormed out of the pub and repeated that my mouth was going to get me in trouble as she left. The interaction was threatening, but I was also embarrassed and angry that she had affronted me in such a physical and public manner. So I said in a video on the Heinz Griff, I believe it was the Heinz Griff, I believe I said it to Eric in regards to this Laura Ray thing, because he said, if you know facts that Laura Ray was not convicted, but yet you still going to put convicted on Laura Ray, what are you doing? And and that does sound strange at first, but I remember saying at the time, I hope I'm quoting myself properly, but I remember saying, no, I can't remember. What did I say? I said it does bolster your case. I can't remember what I said. Anyway, but we discussed this part, and go back and watch that part tell me what I said. But what I'm saying now, though, what I'm saying now in response to all of this is this actually reinforces the idea that Martha and Fiona are distinct, and here is why. If you have two false claims against someone else, why is Laura not suing him? Because in the story, he does claim that this stalker was convicted. So if this is supposed to be the real Fiona, this is Laura Ray being referenced. So why isn't Laura Ray suing him? Why isn't she suing him for that as well? Because why isn't Fiona suing him for that as well? Better yet, this is the ultimate point I want to make. If Martha has two convictions, one by Laura Ray and one by Richard Gadd, and Fiona has 0 convictions, one by Laura Ray and none by Richard Gadd, I think there's a stronger case that Fiona is more fiction. Because how does he have this personal knowledge that she is not convicted, by the way? But she did stalk these people. How does he have this personal knowledge and still manages, I'm talking malicious intent, because you need that to prove defamation. He goes on with that knowledge that he had to say she's convicted, but also defames Laura as well. Defames her twice by saying she was convicted for someone else. To me, I think this is a defense to say that he introduced these beats to actually keep the two separate, because the direction he was heading into was to see how desperate he was because of his direction. As he explained, it kind of makes sense why she would be twice convicted, because now it's heightened. This person, in the eyes of the viewers, is kind of justified that if anything happens to her, it will make sense. But the fact that you reported her and not the other guy, now this villain that is twice convicted, you will now think maybe she's being hard done by. I can see the emotional stakes being raised for that final act, for that final crying scene. That this guy is crying for the stalker, the guy that's convicted. I can see it. The way he has broken it down, I can actually see it. Make sure you hit the like button. I hope everyone here is doing well, and I hope you guys are actually enjoying the stream. If you guys want to keep lurking, that's fine. You can keep lurking. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I'm not gonna turn off the stream or anything like that because I'm angry. No. It's okay. I can talk to myself. It's fine. I'm okay. I'm not crying. No, who's crying? You're crying. No, those are not tears. These are holy water. As matters escalated, Harvey's visits to the pub became interestingly intense. At times, I would hide in the basement or on a balcony in the hope that she would grow bored and leave the pub. I was scared of Harvey and what she might be capable of, particularly having seen the articles about her behavior towards the Rays online. A lot of staff were intimidated by her too, and tried to adopt different measures to get her to leave me alone, so not to escalate things further. For example, staff would tell her that I was not working, so she would leave to or pretend I had left Holy Arms. Nothing deterred her, and I remember long shifts where I would sit on the balcony or on the basement for hours waiting for her to leave. Okay, we are on paragraph 21, and my Streisand bell is ringing. What is a Streisand bell? My Streisand bell is ringing because I feel like in the next 7 or maybe 10 paragraphs, I feel like we are about to witness why Fiona Harvey should just stay quiet and not file this lawsuit or come forward in any way at all, because it could just end badly for her. So my Streisand alarm bells, they are blazing right now, because based on just this part alone, other people pretending that he's not working there, they can call them in to testify. Harvey sometimes waited outside a pub for me to finish work. By the way, I wouldn't be surprised if this ends with $0 for Harvey in a settlement, honestly. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's see what goes on. And I'm not prejudiced either. I'm actually very objective, but I'm going to show you. But I'm going to, in the end, explain why I explain myself. Not explain myself, but like share my thoughts about this whole case and why I have made the determinations that I've done. Harvey sometimes waited outside for me to finish work. She also followed me around town. Wow, sometimes very close to where I live, and she attended many of my comedy and theatre performances. We saw that on the show as well. Often, when I posted about a performance online, usually Twitter, Harvey would turn up and occasionally be disruptive. On one occasion, I was appearing in a show at Aces and Eights in London in July 2016. Before the show started, the producer spotted Harvey in the audience. The producer subsequently went around the audience and told everyone other than Harvey that they would be pretending the show had been cancelled, but they could return 10 minutes later just to get Harvey to leave. This is sad. They actually thought she had a problem. It suddenly became not funny. I was then catching some fresh hair when, on leaving the venue, Harvey confronted me about cancelling the show. Whoa, did not expect that reaction. I know a member of the producing team had to stand between me and Harvey, who was increasingly animated towards me. In addition, I have always put extensive measures in place to stop Harvey from attending my shows, including at venues like Soho Theatre. Yes, it's a big theatre. Jesus Christ, you don't want to ruin that spot. And Bush Theatre, as well as involving partners Berg's Nest and Francesca Moody Productions to help manage the situation. I know it's a big theatre because I've never been there, but I know it's so expensive to. Let me continue. Around July 2014, Harvey obtained. Things are changing this year, by the way. I will go there. Around July 2014, Harvey obtained my email address from my personal website, which, for him to know exactly where she got it from, there's receipt for this, which at the time included my contact details to facilitate inquiries and bookings for comedy performances. I know what he's talking about. I remember when I used to do events, the amount of prank calls I used to get when I used to put on events, and I had to put out my phone number. I literally had to. This is where I got into the habit of having two phones, one personal, one business, and that habit. I recently broke out of it literally today. I realized I've been keeping 2 phones for no reason. Like, I realized when I left uni, I was like, I didn't realize it, but I've always had 2 phones. Always. And I don't even know why. Like, sometimes the same wouldn't even work. Sometimes nothing, like, sometimes nothing would work, and it would just be down, like, just in case. Just in case you do start to do something, and then, you know, I always had that. And today I was like, no, why do I need 2 phones for? I actually don't need 2 phones. There are many ways to, you know, be contacted now. So I'm like, I don't need 2 phones. Like, you know, maybe that reaction, it came today. So I can imagine how concerning this was, because some of those calls were threatening that I was getting in uni. Some of those calls were like, I'm going to do this to you, I'm going to do that to you. Some of those calls were like trying to, like, you know, say, oh, I like you, and, like, you know, like try and put on the heartstrings. I'm like, is that a prank call? You know, all those things. Anyway, Harvey emailed me relentlessly throughout all hours of the night, all hours of the day and night, and she would sometimes send emails at 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. And at times, she would send multiple emails in a single day. I have never engaged with, responded to, or referred to Harvey's emails because I feared it would only make matters worse if only she knew for certain that I have been receiving them. You're saying you haven't responded at all? Harvey sent thousands of emails, hundreds of voicemails, and a number of handwritten letters. These communications included sexual, explicit, violent, and derogatory content, hateful speech, and threats. The emails and voicemails attached to this declaration. Streisand alarm is blaring. Ooh. Represent just a fraction of those I received from Harvey. Most of the emails referenced in this declaration were provided to the police. Below I provide some examples of the types of emails I received from Harvey. I want to know what the nature of the police investigation was after this, because it would take, it's one thing. And this is what I will credit Eric on the talk that we had on the Heinz Griff. This is what I'll credit him on, because I will credit him here. It's one thing to say on the show that she's a convicted stalker, and to put the whole premise, this is a true story, all those things. That's one thing. At least, and he acknowledged I would have had a point if that was the case. But the fact that he went to Parliament and said that she was convicted as well, I don't know if this is a nod to say at least this inspired me to create the conviction twist or the conviction idea into the story, to put it in there, because I was speaking to the police. But it was just an idea that I explored for the show, because I was speaking with the police. That is, to me, that's a compelling argument, because remember, you know what, I'm not going to go to sorry, 1 second. I closed it down by accident. Okay, it's back now. All right. Sorry, I closed it down by accident. So let me try and get the video, because I want to know if the guy said Parliament, if the guy said that she was a convicted, that it was actually Fiona that was convicted stalker, or whether he mentioned Martha to be the convicted stalker. Because if he mentioned nobody at all, then it would automatically default to Martha, because that is where the convicted stalker was, and not Fiona, because it's always been Martha to be the convicted stalker. So I actually want to hear what she said, because if that's the case, I think that would save, that would at least remove, I don't know, would it remove, I don't know, would it actually do much of an impact? Because I don't know, if you don't put a name to who you say is a convicted stalker, then how are you supposed to say that someone's been defamed? Is what I'm basically essentially trying to say. Gadd, Parliament, convict. Okay. Oh, found it.
Get way more than you pay for when you work out at Pure Gym.
No, thank
we
you.
did take every reasonable precaution in disguising the real-life identities of the people involved in that story.
She's been identified,
whilst
hasn't she?
Also striking a balance with the veracity and authenticity of Richard's story, because we didn't want to anonymize that or make it generic to the point where it was no longer his story. Fundamentally, this was about Richard's story and telling Richard's story in a truthful way. I personally wouldn't be comfortable with a world in which we decided it was better that Richard was silenced and not allowed to tell his story. So obviously, we are following the situation very closely.
Yes, can I just ask Mr. King a question? We were all talking in our private meeting beforehand about all the things that we were enjoying watching and binge watching for some of us, and a number of different people mentioned Baby Reindeer, which is one of yours. I think it's had 54 million views in just being a
of the horrific. I mean, Baby Reindeer is an extraordinary story, and it is obviously a true story of the horrific abuse that the writer and protagonist Richard Gadd suffered at the hands of a convicted stalker.
Oh, I think he just exonerated himself there. Let me get up the transcript for this one. What did he say? Get a transcript. So he says, obviously a true story of the horrific abuse that the writer and protagonist Richard Gadd. The writer is Richard Gadd, but he is not the protagonist. The protagonist is actually Donnie. So, if the protagonist suffered at the hands of a convicted stalker, that's Martha. The writer is Richard Gadd. To me, reading this, like in terms of what English actually, you cannot identify Richard Gadd in that. You cannot actually identify Martha in that and say that's actually Martha. That he's referring to Martha as the convicted stalker. I think you can identify Fiona Harvey as a convicted stalker. I think you can identify Martha as the convicted stalker because that was the word protagonist. That wasn't Richard, because Richard, we are all protagonists in our lives. Why would we think of ourselves as antagonists if we're not in therapy? Like that's probably the only time that we actually see ourselves as antagonists in any part. But some people are hard on themselves, so they may see themselves as antagonists all the time. So you can make the argument. But naturally, I think on average, a lot of us see ourselves as the heroes in our story. So why on earth? We are all protagonists, so why would you need to stress this? In fact, who says protagonist in real life? Who actually says that? So no, I think this is deliberate. I think this just, if this goes to court and, they ask for the summons and all that, I didn't see, did you guys hear of any development? I'm pretty sure they must have got a reply, and that's why we haven't heard anything from the Scotland, all of those things again. Because we haven't heard anything outside of this declaration. And now this declaration is here. I'm actually seeing some of the parts that I'm like, I think this sounds favorable. I don't know how they're going to argue this and bring this all in, but it does actually sound favorable for him. If you're watching this back on replay, hi. Make sure you hit the like button and also share this as well. We are an hour now into the stream. We only have 20 minutes left, and we have, oh my gosh, 21 pages to go. So what's 21 minus 8? So that's mental math. It's not my forte. 21 minus 8, 1. 11 minus 8 will be 3. So that's 13 more pages to go. Damn, I told you mental math was not my forte. Harvey regularly monitored my social media and sent me emails discussing photos on my Twitter account on January 12, 29, 2015, Harvey sent me an email with the subject line "Yummy Yummy," which stated, "I see your mum is on Twitter. I look at yours to see what's going on in your head." You retweeted her. Attached Exhibit 1. Is it true? Let me do a detour. Are these at the bottom? Oh no, he didn't put a copy. They usually do that to show the exhibits. Oh God. This is a clever play. I wouldn't be surprised if they go into a settlement and the settlement is for zero. Fiona just goes away. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think this is over. By just for the record, this is not over. I think there will be a response. There will, of course, be a response. No, far from over, and I can't wait to go into this. Anyway, moving on. Attached here to is Exhibit 1. It's true copy. Blah 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 blah. Exhibit 2. Exhibit 2 is email. Written here on September 17, 2016. I love the photo of you sleeping on Twitter. Wow. Harvey's emails frequently contain hateful speech and derogatory racist and homophobic language. For example, Harvey told me, "You look gay on one of those online photos," and stated, so I'll say, okay, be careful with this racist one anyway. "I would kill a Muslim if they attacked you. I hate Muslims." Oh, wow. This Streisand is pinging. Why would you do this to yourself, Fiona? Right. I guess it's funny again. No, it's not funny. This is actually not funny. I'm going to explain why at the end. I don't want to get ahead of myself. It says, "I hate Muslims. Noise acts like animals." Almost like, Jesus Christ, Fiona, man. Jesus Christ, man. Why would you do this if you know this is factual? It makes no sense. Like, it seems like I can see what. I can't believe I'm saying this because I really agree with her, but I can see what Imani was saying now, because it seemed like Piers Morgan platformed someone that wasn't mentally well, and now this is out here. I can see what Imani was saying now. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. I don't like. She makes good points sometimes, but I'm not a biggest fan. I don't think she carried herself well in that interview at all. But funny enough, she's having a last laugh now. This is sad to watch. Attached to Exhibits 3 to 5 are true exact copies. In another email, Avi admitted, "No wonder I'm." I am going through every meme possible right now because I can't actually comprehend what I'm reading. I cannot actually believe what I'm reading. Attached here to Richard just went for the jugular. I cannot believe this. I don't blame him too, because I'm going to explain this. I'm actually going to explain this. I don't blame him for even going for this jugular, to be honest, and just destroying the character in the nicest way possible. Honestly, this is like character assassination 101. Attached to Exhibit 6 is true and correct copy of the August 2nd, 2016 email from Harvey. On May 29, 2016, Harvey stated, "I can't stand the gay business. It makes me squirm. Actually, yuck. Attached to Exhibit 7 is a true correct copy of, we've already said that. Harvey frequently made personal attacks and threatened in her emails on January 25th, 2015. Harvey sent me a lengthy email acknowledging that she had been banned from Holy Harms, the pub where I was employed, calling me naive, ugly, stupid, and badly educated, insulting and threatening several of my colleagues at the pub, and threatening me with litigation. Isn't it weird that we're suddenly now in litigation? Harvey also threatened to move back to Glasgow, a Catholic mafia kind of place full of pedos and gangs and liars and crimbos. What's a crimbo? I don't even want to know. To be honest. I don't even want to know. That might shoot you just fine. And stated that she had considerable contacts. Should I ask Charlie? I'm gonna ask Charlie that. No. I don't want to know. Anyway, contacts in every walk of life, all very angry with you, including a number of law firms. While this email stated that Harvey was blocking my email account and finished speaking to me, she continued to send hundreds of emails after this. Attached is Exhibit 8. On January 25th, 2016, Harvey mailed me a multi-page handwritten letter, which was barely legible. Oh my God. The letter claimed that Harvey did not read emails because she is allergic to emails, called me prick, and demanded that I call her because she was fed up with the fannying about. Sounds to me that she's a troll then. Attached to Exhibit 9. Harvey threatened me that I had a very big enemy in the acting world, and I'm not telling you that is, but they are saying your all image, and again in the butt. Frankly, I'm not surprised narcissists are like that. Attached to here to us Exhibit 10 is a true and correct copy of January 30th. On September 30th, this happened January 30th, 25th, on 2016, a year earlier, same day. Exhibit 8 reflects that. Exhibit 7, you get the idea. If the way I was reading was confusing, hopefully that does clear it up. On September 13th, 2016, Harvey also threatened that I needed to shut my ignorant little failed actor mouth. Wow, okay, because I was finished. Oh wow, I mean, well, what have you done with your life, Harvey? Harvey also made the derogatory remarks about my sexuality in this email, stating that she was glad we had never dated because you are gay and I have AIDS. That's a troll. That is actually a troll. Can't be Piers Morgan actually got that down to a T. Attached to Exhibit 11 is a true and copy. So, yep, that's 11. So now we go on to Exhibit 12. Harvey frequently made threats of physical violence in emails. In one email, for example, Harvey indicated she was heading to a gun shop to buy a gun to shoot each other, and that if we get rid of Khan, everyone will sleep easy. This email was referred to Sadiq Khan, a Labour Party politician who had recently been elected mayor of London and the first Muslim to hold the position. Exhibit. So 2 exhibits reflects this. Wow. Harvey also sent me emails discussing her plans to run for political office to displace Labour Party members, including claiming that she was on 4 shortlists for seats in Parliament. Whoa. Well, at least Netflix saved their reputation here. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna argue with emails. If you have told them that you are part of the Labour constituent and you're not there, I don't need a stalker conviction. I don't need it. I already know that she's lying. And this is just clear cut. Like, I believe him when he says I did everything to keep her away from me. I believe him now. Maybe he was sloppy with the tweets and all that, maybe, but I believe him. I actually believe him. I don't care. You can argue yourself on that one, but I believe him on that one part. I can say I've made my mind up. I believe him on that part, that his actual true intentions was not to draw her out. Unintended consequences happen. It does. Who knows? Maybe she was always going to come out based on the nature of this and the fact that she knew. Remember what she said in the interview. I don't know why she kept saying this. I swear, actually, she kept saying this in the interview that she saw the show and it failed, and then he changed the story. But yet, I'm not going to go into the complete detail because I can't remember what the inconsistency was. But that doesn't make sense because, anyway, what I'm trying to say is that for me serves as enough context to suggest she knew this was coming, and it just suggests that no matter what no matter what Richard Gadd was going to do, even if it didn't include the tweets and just included the emails, she would have still come out on her own volition. It's just so happened that fortunately that was the one mistake that led to her. But I think if you remove that one variable, I think she still comes forward. I personally believe that. Harvey also sent emails describing her troubling interactions with others. For instance, on November 18th, 2014, she wrote me that, by the way, Piers Gas, a great ass pinch if last night great ass attached. Okay, it's 17. This is exhibit 18 and 20. Harvey also regularly positioned me with lewd and explicit language. For example, Harvey emailed me, "I want to suck your cock until all day." I'm not gonna read that again now because I know I messed it up. I'm not gonna read that again. Pause. I'm saying pause if all through this. You shag me, pause, and have stab at this, and threaten me with an ultimatum demanding sex 3 times at night and twice in the morning, stating, "I just want to give you loads and loads of blowjob." Pause. I'm not saying this. I'm reading it. I'm not saying this. Pause. I'm not repeating it either. Okay, to make you sleep. Pause. Oh. Okay, now that we're done with that, exhibit 21. In another email, Harvey made sexual advances towards me while making xenophobic, saying, I can't stand all the bloody foreigners in the streets at this time of year. I did so much. Let you fuck my brains out." Pause. Harvey said that. Harvey sent numerous emails discussing my body. For example, on January 18th, this is exhibit 22 to 27. 5 exhibits. Whew. This is gonna be long. Harvey sent numerous emails discussing my body. For example, on January 18th, 2015, which wrote that, "Obviously miss your lovely bum." Pause. And that it was the loveliest bum. Pause. Harvey emailed me that, "You still have a cute ass though. I haven't been thinking a lot about your ass. It's been your best bit." Pause. I am not saying this. I wish. Is there a text to voice service for this? I'm not reading all this. I'm not reading this. There must be a text to voice service. Open in reading mode. Oh, does it have voice service? Please have the voice service. That doesn't help. So I can't even. There must be a reading mode here. 2-page view? No, that's not right. No, not even. Okay, I guess it's just I'm gonna have to read it. Anyway, exhibits 28 to 30 states Harvey also sent emails with photos of herself and her underwear. On April 22. What I am noticing here is I am not seeing the part that this guy actually went to the trailer. So I am really interested to see if I need to go back to the original complaint. Was that part of it? Because if she highlighted that, I am not. This will be interesting because I want to know if he actually did go to the trailer. Because sending this photo and the reason why I'm bringing this up because I'm trying to picture when the essay occurred, right? If this, I believe that's his true story. If that just happened to you, and based on the context of the movie, the way he was feeling, based on the fact that the guy just did that to him and all that, because I think that's what happened. No, unless I'm misremembering, I think he was already vulnerable. Like he wasn't feeling up tip top. So the reason why I say this is like the photos sent here, if he went to the place in response to these photos, then I can see why he went there. Because he was vulnerable and he's just been sent naked photos, unsolicited. Like this is like the equivalent of sending someone a dick pic. Harvey sent me a photo of our student ID with email stating, "This is me at 25. On April 21st, 2016, Harvey sent me a photo of our underwear. On May 11th, Harvey sent me a photo of herself with an email stating I was sober before I went out. So those are all there. So I haven't seen any. Okay, let me wait. I haven't seen anything to show that she sent nudes. So I'm gonna revise that. Let's take that all back. Let's walk that all back. So that didn't happen. So I would equally, though, still like to know why he went over and if that scene is true. Harvey described her menstrual cycle, breast, pubic. Wow. Why? And masturbation habits in graphic detail. This is assault, man. I'm sorry. This guy was assaulted. This is actually essay. Even if you don't, let's say that it was fake, right? The actual hand assault. This is enough graphic to suggest that hand assault is real. She might as well have stuck. This is assault. Who wants to talk about this? Who wants to know this? I think we can safely say I'm not menopausal, babe. I'm not reading this. I'm not reading this again. I am not doing it. Ooh. This blood loss is excessive. What are you, Wolverine? Sounds gruesome, but I should have kept it all in the jar to show the doctor. On December 28th, 2014, Harvey emailed me, "Hi, my clitoris dropped off. Too much masturbation. Had a lovely Xmas day just pleasing myself." Why would you email someone these things? This is harassment. Straight up. I can see this getting thrown out. I can see this getting thrown out because this is enough to write a story and just rework it a little bit. Because this fits. This fits what we saw. It's just not the exact same story. But it fits what we saw. I don't know about you, but this is intrusion. This does not surprise me that if that moment is fake and reworked, that's the reference. It has to be. Because this is way too intrusive. Oh, we've got 5 minutes left. Oh, God. Let me try and increase the time for you guys because we did have a bit of technical difficulty. So let me get it to 15 more minutes and see where we go. We still got a bit to go. I'm gonna extend the time. We still got a bit to go. I'll be quick though. Let me continue. On April 27, 2016, Harvey sent me an email stating that she was fed up with the highlight of my day being masturbating. I mean, like masturbating. And on May 6, 2016, Harvey emailed me that she had masturbated and looked at photo of cube. Just dismiss the case. Dismiss the case. On May 13, 2016, Harvey sent another graphic email on a menstrual. Wow. Why do heaviest bleeding started Monday. My tits and tummy were looking 6 months pregnant last week. This is torture, man. And on June 10, 2016, Harvey emailed me again about menstruating. Worst feeling when sanitary towels chafe. Have become allergic to. On September 9th, 2016, Harvey sent lengthy, incoherent email stating, "I have got the beef off the tits and belly. I've piled it on cause I used to walk at night. But my drug-dealing neighbor next door keeps getting busted. I would kick him out physically in a minute, but I can risk an assault conviction. In fact, I would effing kill the. I do have great nipples, I have to say." Exhibits 31 and 38. I'm still trying to recover from masturbating to babies. I'm still trying to recover. Harvey's emails and social media posts demonstrated that she was regularly attending my performances. For instance, on November 18, 2015, Harvey sent me an email with a subject, "Your show," wrote, "I like the bit before I continue on, I want to say I can see why. Again, when Piers say that she's trolling, I think that's what she's thinking here. I don't know. I don't even want to try and justify this. This is just icky. This is so disturbing. I like the bit where Ben was kicking your ass, cause in the back view, your ass was perfect. Pause. That's your best bit. Pause. Harvey sent me an email that my show is very funny and that she was going to have to lie but needed to masturbate. Where's you and your cock when I need it? Pause. On August 28th, 2016, Harvey sent me email speculating I think you were assaulted and I tell you why, and including details she could only observe from attending one of my performances, exhibits 39 and 41. That was on. This is exhibit 42 on June 22nd. On June 22nd, 2017, Harvey publicly tweeted about my play Monkey See, Monkey Do. Harvey stated that she wouldn't believe a word that came out of my mouth about this essay that I suffered because she had bitter experiences with me. After years of enduring stalking and harassment, abuse, and threats, I went to the police in February 2016. So that part was a true story. I can tell which parts were fake now. I can tell which parts were fake and which parts were real. The police warned me that that police intervention might exacerbate the situation and lead to further prolonged contact. Oh, away from her. I can see why he made Martha the character. This is regret. He chose not to report her because of fear of just continuing on and on and on. That's regret. That's why he was crying. That's the meta commentary. But in the story, he turns it into a reflection exercise in which a convicted stalker, can he feel that empathy for a convicted stalker? That's the show. That's actually the show. The baby reindeer grew up to be that's the ending. Nah, throw this case out, man. Nah, she just wanted attention. No, throw this case out. Throw it out. There's nothing here. Nah, I don't know how you're gonna do. I don't know how you can argue this with the law and have it dismissed. But I've seen enough that if I knew the law, I would try. I would definitely try. I would throw everything at the wall, knowing. I mean, yeah. Anyway, moving on. To get to in my motion to dismiss. Anyway. Let me know how you guys are feeling. Let me see the chat. Okay. A lot of you guys are still watching. You guys are watching. I think we have currently 5 concurrent viewers. Thank you. It's a Thursday, so I'm pretty surprised that there's currently 5 at the moment. I think it says it's like yeah. So but anyway, yeah. Thanks for tuning in, every single one of you. I really do appreciate the fact that you have. So let me continue on with this. Make sure you also hit that like button as well. So let me continue reading this. It says, and recommended that they refer Harvey to the appropriate mental health and intervention team for support in this case, rather than issue a first instance harassment warning letter. And I think that letter would have gone a long way to really get this out. Would have gone a long way. Attached here too is a for you free. Moving on. However, in the following months, I continue. Wait, no. Yeah, it's the email thread. Okay, that's the exhibit. However, in the following months, I continued to receive hundreds of emails from Harvey. In May 2016, I reached back out to the police to express my concern and reopened the harassment case. I attached an example of one of the emails, which stated, "Masturbate that should send you to sleep. I'm erect today. I have hitchy pubic hair too. It's a rash. I wanted more sex in my 40s, had more sex and masturbated more than in my 20s and 30s. Why do we need to know this? Write a book. Write poems. Get a friend. What is... In response, the police recommended that I block Harvey's email address from the time and advised me to inform her the Holy Harms that Harvey has been in contact with me again. Due to Harvey's frequent threatening visits to the pub, a first instant harassment warning had been issued against her, listing the pub as the victim at the time. Attached is Exhibit 44. That's it. It's gone. The case is going for it. I don't think no reasonable judge is going to read this and be like, well, you still did, there were still messages. I would love to see, again, I would love to see how this handled, because this has brought the case from, because Fiona Harvey, I think she had it going for her, but now, knowing that there has been a formal, even if they convict stalker, I'm pretty sure you can see a clear distinction now between Fiona and Martha. There's no way you can say that this wasn't a public interest defense. I'm sorry, this wasn't a public interest led, or it was led more with the public in mind than going after Martha insistently, falsely, because you need to prove that actual malice in defamation, especially, and with the fact that, again, it's also tied to privacy. I'm not a practicing attorney or anything like that, but I don't know how that thread actually ties with defamation. So I don't know if you can cut defamation from it without having to address the fact that her identity has been revealed. I don't know how that privacy and defamation works, because I read a couple of cases. I believe there was one I was going to put into the video, but I just didn't want the video to be too long. Not making that mistake again. I point the gun down. I'm not gonna do that mistake again. I'm gonna put every information that I found that I believe is relevant to make my point as concise as possible. Sorry, as clear and congruent as possible. But the case was a case of Hustlers magazine in 1980. I can't remember the name of the person, but it was a weird. It was a case in which she did agree to pose for the shoot, but she didn't know it was gonna be like in a Playboy magazine. I don't think she was naked or anything like that. Sorry, Hustlers magazine. She didn't know it was gonna be X-rated or anything like that. So she posed for it, and it became like that. And she sued and said that our privacy has been violated. And so, but I don't know how it all ties. But that's the case I came across that kind of dealt with both issues, and I was like, I didn't know how to separate it. In September 2016, Harvey obtained my telephone number. This happened at a point when I was on holiday in Croatia. Croatia is a beautiful country, by the way, and had switched. I've never been. I want to go. I've seen the pictures. I want to go. And had switched on the out of office function on email on my email account. And my favorite player, Luka Modric, is from there. The out of and Dario Serna. No one is touching Dario Serna. Sorry, football nerd. Apologies. Anyway, moving on. The out of office reply contained my phone number, and I had not thought it through that if Harvey emailed me during this period, she would have received an automatic reply which included my telephone number in the footer of the email. Once she obtained my phone number, Harvey began calling me and leaving hundreds and thousands of voicemails. I do not have a record of all the voicemails, but I have many hours of voicemails from Harvey that I recorded and still have. The voicemails included graphic details about Harvey's sexual exploits, stories about catching sexually transmitted disease, threats to me, my family, my co-workers, and other victims of Harvey's stalking and harassment. Over just a few days in September 2016, Harvey left me hours of voicemails. As soon as my voicemail cut her off, she would immediately call back and leave another voicemail. During this string of voicemails, Harvey profusely insulted me, calling me bipolar alcoholic, wow, and claiming the whole of Glasgow hated me and had an axe to grind with me. She also made threats against my family, stating, I know your family, and that they have enemies. She claimed that she had a file on me that had a lot of people know about me, and threatened to sue me and shut down Holy Harms, stating that she had the power to do so. We can do that, in quotes. Harvey also threatened not to tell the police about her voicemails and emails, said that said she had access to police files. She claimed that undercover police officers, drug dealers, lawyers, and ex-lawyers were all after me, and that the comedy industry hated my guts. Harvey threatened me with physical violence, stating that she would smash my balls in, and made violent threats to my co-worker. Stating that she is a cock-sucking little whore with no tits. She's a cock-sucking Spanish whore who shouldn't even be in a country. What have you got against Spanish people? What has she done? And threatening to take a heap of guys that would have actually gone right through her, who were professional guys. They would have hit her and threatened to have her deported. The same Spanish girl, by the way. Guys, this is disturbing. I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little bit of vindication for my initial pause early on, because when she came forward, I was like, nothing in this sounds true. I know you guys are hanging on that convicted stalker part, but this is BS. I don't know. I was skeptical. I was like, I'll wait. But this just doesn't sound accurate. There were so many parts. I can't wait. The one part I can't remember now is the part that again, it's just whenever she's asked about her behavior, is coy. It's slippery. It's always wriggling around. And now we find that these communications existed, and she was trying to act like they didn't, and they were all meaningless. Meanwhile, you literally message this guy that you were masturbating to babies. She also referenced pettering somebody up the arse and peeling off their toenails, and repeated, if I want you dead, you are effing dead. Actually, I can swear on this channel, actually, because we're not monetized yet. Okay, if I want you dead, you are fucking dead. Multiple times in these messages, and stated, if I hadn't been a lawyer, I would have smashed somebody's face in. Attached here to Exhibit 45. By the way, that was a joke. I don't like swearing. But this scream, I am extremely uncomfortable. I am uncomfortable, and I'm trying not to show that. I emailed it, so there will be vulgarities from now on. I'm just gonna quote everything I see. I just don't give a fuck now anymore. I need to cope and finish this and keep my humanity, my sanity, and not curse this girl out of her name. On September 17th, 2016, I emailed the police informing them again Harvey again left me hours of voicemails. I also prepared a document outlining who no one deserves to go through this, outlining the particular threatening, aggressive moments. From the voicemails for the police, I then coordinated. You don't need to show this much proof, man. This girl lied so much that she forced the guy to just reveal everything. This guy has been traumatized. Like, I can tell that this is a long life trauma that he has worked to like kind of heal from, and the wounds are there. I can see the wounds here. But at the same time, it's one of those ones where he's like, I need to do this so that anyone else that is anything remote to Fiona is like, no, this hopefully does not happen again. Because I'm going to explain my all thoughts and feelings at the end of the stream. It's 1 hour, 30 minutes into the stream. Yes, I'm going to try and speed through it now. We've only got, my maths can't be that bad. Come on, 6 pages left. Damn. Attached. Okay, that was Exhibit 46. Okay, on September 19, 2016, Harvey left me another string of voicemails, during which she claimed to have information my family once again warned me not to speak to the police, stating she was so angry and shouting my mouth off. In this voicemail, Harvey claimed to know 100,000 lawyers and threatened me, "You're not as bright as you think you are. I'm 25,000 steps ahead of you." She stated that she would create World War III over a sketch. referencing my comedy shows. She also went to explicit detail about her sex life again, and again insulted the same co-worker, claiming to have reported her to immigration law and threatening that she would stop her from obtaining employment anywhere in the country. Harvey also admitted I'm a racist, that she wanted to boot all Pakistanis out of the country. That was Exhibit 47. Fuck you guys, fuck everyone that even fuck. Due process is important, and I'm glad that everyone that actually did speak in, and gave Fiona Harvey the benefit of the doubt. You guys are heroes. You gave her the benefit of the doubt. Avoiding due process when the law, when you don't have to, I commend that. But I'm vindicated, man. I'm glad I didn't believe that girl. I'm vindicated. I did not believe. I played devil's advocate, but I try to be objective. I try to be in the middle, but I've always had in my head, this girl is not okay. And she most likely did everything that was depicted in that movie. Series. Anyway, moving on. On September 2000, this is Exhibit 50. On September 2016, 2016, Harvey left me another threatening voicemail stating, I cannot express how angry I am at the way you set me up. I know about you and your family. Stay in fucking Croatia. And that is really my final word. I mean at this time. Well, then why am I seeing Exhibit 51? Anyway, moving on. I think you've got psychiatric problems. Rich. Kettle, meet pot, meet kettle. How are you guys doing? I'm gonna do a poll right now. I want to see if you guys are alive. So if you guys are alive, let me know in the poll. Do you think this is gonna get dismissed, withdrawn, or settled? Do you think this is going to get dismissed, withdrawn, or settled? And then we will follow up after I hear your options. So dismissed, withdrawn, and settlement. Let me know, cast your votes in. Let me know that you guys are alive. Yeah. So back into the document. We are now 1 hour 34 minutes into the show. I'm gonna try and speed through so that we can end at least at 1:45, so it's not too long. Right, moving on. Exhibit 51. I emailed the police again. The most intense part of the voicemail. Okay, Exhibit 51 is the conversation with the voicemail. And said coordinated the police to drop coordinated with the police to drop off a pen drive with all the information regarding Fiona on it, including voicemail recordings. Exhibit 51. By this time, Harvey's harassment has been plaguing my life for over 2 years. I was fearful. I continually changed my daily routine to try and avoid her. I understand. And would not spend time in parts of London I knew Harvey frequented. I've never been stalked before, but I can understand the steps he's taking here, if that makes any sense. So far, people think it's gonna get dismissed. Fair enough. Vote, guys. Vote. That is your civic duty here on Ketchup Court, the most fun court in the land, where everyone is free to do anything, except, if I put a poll, it's kind of a mandatory. It's a mandate. So you are free to do whatever you want, but for this one, it's your mandate to vote. I'm joking. I'm playing. This is not democracy. It's an authoritarian regime where I reign supreme. I am the Napoleon of these 7 seas. I'm joking. Never know what's going on here. Anyway, by this time, Harvey's harassment had been plaguing my life forever. 2 years, I was fearful. I continually changed my date. 10 already. I could not sleep. When I did sleep, I would wake up at night sweating. I spent countless weekends noting down Harvey's threatening voicemails. I was panicked and paranoid. I was terrified about getting on tubes and buses for fear of seeing her. I was genuinely worried that she might harm me or my parents, especially. In short, her actions took a sensitive toll on my physical and mental well-being. The cumulative effect of all Harvey's actions was enormous. It was exhausting and extremely upsetting, with her constant personal interactions in the Holy Arms, following me around London and including near where I lived, and her relentless and deeply unpleasant communications. As I explained above, I was frightened about what she might be capable of. Given the progressive hostility and escalation in our communications and volume of our conduct, after many months of speaking to the police, I eventually obtained a first instant harassment warning against Harvey. After I obtained that warning, the emails and voicemails stopped. But her behavior did not stop completely. For example, Harvey sent me another handwritten letter with some underpants. The letter, so exhibit 52. So she didn't stop then. All right. The letter stated, "You have not unblocked your email, so have not checked my emails. Here are some lucky underpants." Okay, let's go for this home run. The outside envelope claimed, "If you unblocked your email, you would see I have sent you good wishes." Exhibit 52. By the way, I just remembered, for the first time ever, the Chicago White Sox finally won a baseball game. Just remembered. I just literally just remembered. I said I'm going for the home run. We finally won a baseball game. Sorry. Anyway. I was so shocked. I'm gonna show you the tweet afterwards. Anyway, moving on. Throughout my in-person interactions with Harvey, I asked her on a number of occasions to stop engaging in unwanted behavior towards me. In particular, I asked Harvey to stop attending my gigs, to refrain from making advances towards me and speaking customers about me. Interestingly, in the story, this didn't happen until the blowout with Eva Mao, which was the trans act, which was playing the trans act. The trans woman, sorry. But it was like trying to reason with someone who knew no bounds. I did not change my number because I strongly felt that it was up to her to stop calling, and that it was morally wrong for me to change my number based on someone harassing me. Yes, people have your number. Like, do you know how annoying it is that, I don't know. I mean, if a lot of people have my number, including important people, I'm not gonna change it. Why? What if I forget to? No, I felt no one should have to change up their life just because someone has decided to be a weirdo psycho. I felt it was up to her to adjust her behavior around me, and the aggressor in the situation. I did not download software and apps which I thought should block calls from unknown numbers, but none of this works. Oh, I did. Not I thought. Okay, I did. Anyway, overall, it was an incredibly stressful, worrying time with a sustained period of relentless behavior taking place over several years. It is impossible to be exhaustive in setting out all of Harvey's conduct, as there were so many instances of unwelcome personal interaction and attempts to engage, as well as deeply troubling communication. We've seen the babies. Yeah. However, the above provides a microcosm of the sheer scale of her targeted harassment towards me. Knowledge of other victims harassed by Harvey. I am also aware Harvey has stalked and harassed other individuals and had violent fantasies about others. Streisand! Barbara Streisand. Love that song. For example, on November 18, 2014, Harvey stated, "I really wish my sister would drop dead." I have her too big fat sack lawyer struck off. Not an easy thing to do in Scotland. Is 853. This guy is just dropping receipts after receipts. On December 11th, this is 854, 11th of December 2014, Harvey sent me an email that stated, "Sister and her lawyer still being in pains ill. Need to disappear them. Exhibit 55. On March 3rd, 2015, Harvey sent me an email threatening to shut down an estate planning attorney's firm because she pushed me too far. Exhibit 56. Harvey also sent multiple emails detailing her harassment of Jimmy and Laura Ray. On February 1st, 2015, Harvey stated that she had done over by the Rays, and she and others allegedly done over and hired private detectives in our law firms, hence like what was called a stalker. Harvey also detailed alleged blackmail she had against Labour Party members. Exhibit 57. On February 2nd, 2015, Harvey sent me an email stating it was me who called police to Ray Walker. I had no choice. Exhibit 45. Harvey routinely referenced Jimmy and Laura Ray in voicemails to me in September 12 to 13, 2016 series of voicemails. Harvey admitted that she told Jimmy Ray that she would wring his bloody neck and that he had reported that and that he had reported this as a death threat. Let me swallow. Pause. She also stated that she would finish her book on the Labour Party when she shoot 5 more Labour members of Parliament. This was particularly concerning to a few months prior. So, Exhibit 26 points out I fear for my life around Harvey at this point, with Harvey acutely aware of this shit. I was scared. I guess I'm gonna have to go on to let it go on to like the 2-hour mark. I might as well. So hopefully that you guys did actually enjoy this stream. And if you're watching this back on replay, hopefully it has been enough value for the time that has been spent. Seriously, I hope you guys have enjoyed, because it's been very uncomfortable. But hopefully it's not been uncomfortable for you. Hopefully I've been able to like soften the blow a little bit, because this is intense. I mean, I should have put a trigger warning. Damn, I need to start doing trigger warnings. In addition to, I forgot. Why didn't I think of that? In addition to the Rays, Harvey also made threatening and violent comments about Blank, a conservative councillor, in her voicemails and emails, claiming Blank called her frequently and that he owed her money. Based on voicemails and emails I received from Harvey, I believe that she also stalked and harassed Redacted. This exhibits 58 and 60. So change the word that I used, which was blank, to redacted. Just I'm gonna start saying redacted from now on. I should have said that. Harvey comes forward through the so this part is just detailing. I want to see what she says. What he says. Throughout the process of writing Baby Reindeer play and the series, I intentionally did not refer to Harvey by name in any way. When viewers began speculating about the real life inspirations for various characters, I urged them to stop. This was my central premise. I'm like, listen, the guy was like, yo, stop this, because the guy is just an actor. Don't go after him. So already you can already tell that this was unintentional by him anyway, because that actor that was called out, he was not arrested. He was arrested. He was not the real guy. But I'm saying, if this real guy, I always said in the Heinz Griff and also the Legal Lab video that I done, if this real guy was actually out there, why didn't he come forward? If it's all fake. To me, obviously it's never going to work like that in a court of law, because you're not going to look at the next person and say, well, because he didn't do that, that means you shouldn't come forward. You know what I mean? It doesn't work like that. But it's just interesting that there was 2 people that was being investigated, like, people just looking for this, like just internet doing what internet does. And for some reason, it's only Fiona that for some reason that we should all single out and be like, oh, well, you can't say convicted stalker. I don't know. Based on this, she is a convicted stalker. In my eyes. Where everything is real, including... I was going to make a joke, but it's too self-deprecating. I don't think I can I don't think I can pick myself up emotionally from after that joke. Anyway, moving on. Fiona Harvey, like all characters in series, Martha is fictional character with fictional personality and traits that are very different than Harvey's. I believe that. Harvey identified herself to the press as Martha after 3 or 4 people previously had been falsely identified as Martha. Whoa! I need to inquire about this. I did not know 3 or 4 people had been previously falsely identified. So this means that they did protect our identity quite well then, because 4 attempts is pretty good. If it's 1 attempt, then yeah, I can understand. But 4 attempts, you might as well be like, okay, cool. All right, you guys win. You guys done your investigative sleuthing, whatever, right? By members of the public. I thought I was surprised that Harvey appeared on Piers Morgan Uncensored. Though I only watched certain segments, I understand she claimed that she was the inspiration for Martha's character, that she never sent me thousands of emails, nor left any voicemails. She harassed and stalked me over several years. And since I interview and other interviews are coming through my agents and publicists said they were also harassed by Harvey, but all were all too scared to come forward, I declared the death of the penalty of perjury in the United States. I think it's going to get dismissed purely because it all happened in the UK. I think it's going to get dismissed. I think there's enough for the judge to just look at this and be like, this sounds like an issue that you guys should deal with your jurisdiction and not read Netflix. Because I can't see, it's going to get dismissed. I'm sorry. That's my final thoughts. Now for my final thoughts. This case is not going anywhere. I'm sorry. There's enough here to suggest that if you're writing a movie, and you're saying that parts were fictionalized, you also have the example of Fargo, etc. There's enough here to say that even if the essay was fake, even if there's enough here to say that it's true. Emotionally, yeah, this is assault. Whether it was an actual, yeah, but this is assault. And completely distinct from Martha's character. This is not going anywhere. This is dismissed. I don't think it is. I don't know what argument they're gonna come up with. I'll be very interested to see the argument. But this is not only gonna get dismissed, but this is very sad. And this is sad for it. 1 second. And this is sad for a number of reasons. The reason why this is sad is because for the first time ever, in my adult life, that I've watched movies about difficult topics like domestic violence, that like essay, like stalk, like all these controversial topics, they have never been as concise and accurate as Baby Reindeer. None. And it is such a shame that it was overshadowed by that attention hog. That attention, I'll call her hog. All right? That's all I'll call her. Anyway. Fiona Harvey. It is disappointing and quite sad that Fiona Harvey has just completely shut over that. I don't care if it's called This Is a True Story. Like, you guys need to watch a bit. Like, it happens. People need creative choices. And for someone to even reveal, for me, I think he just gave you the blueprint to Baby Reindeer here, because I know every reference now. It's spoiled. That journey that you kind of go with the artist, to try and explore, when could this has happened? When could that have happened? Now maybe it's not spoiled, because you can still maybe try and put this together and do a timeline to see when those events on Baby Reindeer happened. But regardless, people were too obsessed that this is not true, when the real truth is, it was true. It's still a story in the end, and some parts were dramatized. And reading all of this, if it was just this deltas and Fiona never touched him anyway on it, well, he says she did. So this is sad, and it's something that it's selfish. Yeah, I have no, like, because you know these things happened, and you still come out to say that, to shit on it. Because end of the day, I feel like people really forgot the themes that was accurately portrayed in that movie. I think people forgot the lessons that you could have picked up from that movie. The opportunity to introspect, to even connect with the movie and think of, you know, it could have even made people go to therapy or something. Like, that's the sad part in all this. And this is why I said Imani has the last laugh, and I hate it. I hate saying that because I'm not a biggest. She's cute. I'm not a biggest fan. I'm not a biggest fan, but she has a point. Like, there is no way Pierre should have let her on there. She did not look mentally well, even on the show. I'm seeing messages of her saying, I am masturbating to babies. I cannot believe I laughed at... believe I actually laughed at Imani Aitan. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, man. In my eyes, she's vindicated. At least she saw the nuance in all of this. But everyone else was like, where's the conviction? Where's the conviction? The conviction mattered at a time, so I can understand where everyone was asking for it. But in all fairness, like, if Martha told you she was not convicted, and if they said if they put it out there that it was a true story to Richard, he's a writer, I think that should have been enough clues to be like, maybe the conviction didn't happen. And maybe people should hold caution, because I saw people fighting over it. Like, people were literally fighting, saying, no, she's saying the truth, all these things. I'm like, I was laughing. I was like, okay, you know what? Let me do something for my, I love this guy so much. Rest in peace. Hold up. I'm gonna end on this note. And I think I deserve this. I deserve this. I feel like I deserve this because it just, in my opinion, it never looked right from the beginning. And the fact that it has gone this, it has ruined a great show. It has ruined a great show for me. Anyway, here is the clip.
Vindication!
Rest in peace, Andre. Flipping heck. Yeah, that's my vindication. That's my vindication. And yeah, let me go into the polls. Angel in the chat says, I guess I am the only person who is interested in this case, trying to find the truth in the middle of these two people. Well, no, people were here. Like, people were here. They're just not interactive in the chat. But yes, if that's what you mean by interest, then yeah, I say that you're objectively correct. But yeah, it was the only day I could pick to do this stream. Like, I have other streams coming up in the week that I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do this day. Turns out it's probably not the best day to stream. Because not a lot of people are here. I might have to try again on Friday and see how that goes. So I'm going to do a stream tomorrow, juxtaposing the interview that Fiona done with Piers Morgan, with the lawsuit, and see what's true with what she said and what's not. So I will be continuing this stream. That's going to be like the transition away from this. So it's going to be a pure analysis of the inconsistencies there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's pretty much the coverage for today. Thank you so much, everyone that's tuning in. I'm gonna end the poll. 3 people did vote. Most of them say that it's gonna end in a settlement. Personally, I think it's 3 votes in total. I think it's gonna be dismissed because I think the judge has just too much to just say, you know what, this is a different country, so you guys take it over there. But outside of that, if a settlement does occur, I think she's gonna get 0. There's nothing here for her. Absolutely nothing here. She's going to get 0. I'll be surprised if she gets a dime, because yeah, you have to go to court to get dime with this kind of evidence against you. You have to. Angel, thank you so much. She says, loving your take on the Laura Owens versus Clayton Card case. Thank you so much. And we're continuing the coverage. I'm actually debating Lauren Neddy. I'm actually debating Lethal Lauren or Lauren. You know what? Let me actually get the pronunciation up so that we can all learn together. And this is. I want to say her name properly because I don't like using nicknames. If I know your name, I'll say it. Okay. Anyway. Yes, I'm doing a stream with Lethal Lauren this Tuesday. I cannot wait for that because we have the debate to do, and I'm gonna try and defend Laura Owens. I'm also planning another debate in regards with the Robert Teller's trial. I'm gonna try and defend him as well and see if I can defend him. So if you are interested in if any creator is watching and they want to debate that, and they cover the case, hit me up. My emails is in the description. So pronunciation. Oh, okay. I've already said that. Okay. So
90.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. So yes, like I said, I'll be debating Lauren 90. Lauren 90. So this Tuesday. So don't miss that, Angel. Hopefully I will see you there for that one. It's going to be a really good, engaging debate. Hopefully, I think this, it's going to be an engaging debate. I need to get a W, so I have a lot riding on this for me. But yeah, thank you every single one of you. I know that today was a bit of a quiet one, and I just popped out of nowhere, and the promotions have not been great. But I will try and communicate a lot more quicker now, a lot more frequently now that I've installed the infrastructure needed to ensure that I run all of this smoothly, because it has been a slow start, and it's only because I had no infrastructure back here. So now that I've kind of developed that, hopefully the mistakes will start to there's a word for it. Decimate? Go away? Go away. Yes, go away. The mistakes will go away. All right, I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much, everyone that tuned in. Thank you for watching. Don't miss this. Do not miss this Sunday's Unintentional Juror podcast, by the way, episode 9. We are going through day 2 to, I think we've done all of day 1, but we're going through day 2 and day 5 of the Robert Teller's trial. It has been heating up. Oh my God, I cannot believe what has been coming out of that trial every single day. I am currently on day 4, I believe. Let me see, because the stream is up here. I'm currently on day 4, yes. So I should be I should have full knowledge by the weekend to maybe cover a bit more than day 5, but if we don't get a verdict by this week, then I'm gonna have to cover and discuss all of the other days. Just depends when we get the verdicts, but it's been an interesting case. So don't miss that. This Sunday, same time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Do not miss it. Thank you so much for everyone that tuned in today for Ketchup Court's Ketchup Docket. This is the one court, the spiciest court in the land, the place where if you're playing catch up, you can catch up with us. See what I did there? Anyway, it's time for me to deliver the Heinz TLC package. Make sure you go back and forth in the comments section. Make sure that you do not be a creep, because there are creeps out there. Be respectful, be nice. I should go in back and forth wherever you're doing this in, watching back on replay. I know that you guys are cool, nice people, but, just be cautious. Also, share these streams. Share this with your friends, family, grandma, Bigfoot, whoever it might be. One rule though, if you share with a scrub, I'm gonna find you. It's not gonna end well. No scrubs allowed. No scrubs. And just like that, we're gonna say, have a great evening. Take care of yourself, and